Honkbalvrienden en vriendinnen, hartelijk welkom wederom in het Team USA honkbalstadion bij de wedstrijd tussen USA en Cuba. Cuba zal er vanavond tegenaan moeten, willen ze nog door willen gaan naar de volgende ronde uiteraard. Ik begin met de line-up van Cuba. Als eerste de coaches Carlos Martí, Luis Perales, Ramon Rodriguez, Leonardo Soto en Ciro. Nummer 34 aangewezen slagman, Frederic Cepeda. Nummer 21. Jose Rodriguez. And please line up the rest of the team. Equipo de Cuba, por favor. Gracias. En dan het thuis spelende team, Team USA, met de coaches Mike Bianco, Scott Brown, Cliff Godwin, Sean Barksdale, and Josh Holiday. De 9 starters bij Team USA. Nummer 1, midveld, Enrique Bradfield. Nummer 3, netveld, Dylan Cruz. Nummer 7, kortstop, Jacob Gonzalez. Nummer 28, linksvelder, Wyatt Lanford. Nummer 4, catcher, Kyle Keel. Nummer 29, derde holman, Johanny Morales. Nummer 31, aangewezen slagman, Jack Hurley. Nummer 18, eerste holman, Trey Morgan. 14, tweede Maui Ahuda. Startend werpen bij Team USA met terug nummer 44, Tanner Hall. And please line up the rest of the Team USA. Uiteraard hebben wij ook weer een kwartet wat deze wedstrijd in goede baan heeft gekregen. Achter de thuispaard, John Beltman. Eerste hof, Edwin Louisa. Tweede hof, Nick Elshoff. En bij het derde hof, Marek Pika. Wisselscorers, zoals deze hele week, de dames Karin Pieneman, Jeannette van Drunen en de heer Marco Stopelaar. set.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, a very warm welcome back to Haarlem for the second game of today's day 4 of the tournament. It will be Team USA, the American Collegiate National Team, taking on the champions of Cuba, Alazanas de Granma, plus some All-Stars. We are back at the stadium. As you may hear, my name is Jasper Roos. I am still the same guy who's been doing every single game so far this tournament, but I am joined now for the first time by my co-announcer, Jason Houtkamp. Those of you who have been listening to multiple of our broadcasts know about Jason and his voice problems. We can let's try it out. Jason, is your voice back?
Testing 1 2. I think I'm doing just fine. Thank you very much.
Yeah, it's good. You sound good as always, man.
Thank you very much. I've had a little bit of practice here earlier this week because yesterday I started announcing in the stadium over here. It was a little bit tricky to see how my voice would hold up, but to be honest, I'm pleased with the results so far. So let's continue that line forward, and I'm looking forward to this match tonight. Not gonna lie, it's gonna be an interesting matchup between the United States and Cuba.
We are looking at the first pitch, and our player throwing out the first pitch today is former Major League player Jeremy Guthrie. Royals, Nationals, Orioles. I know him well. I've seen him as being a White Sox fan. I saw a lot of Jeremy Guthrie.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How did he do usually against the White Sox?
I don't remember exactly. I do remember that I loved facing him in video games because I would beat the crap out of him in video games.
Well, let's see how he does.
That's not saying anything about. There you go. That's a 76 mile an hour fastball. There you go. Still a good arm on Jeremy Guthrie. Even in, is that flip-flops or is he wearing shoes? No, he's wearing shoes, okay.
Yeah, I gotta agree. It looks like flip-flops. I mean, it would be a little bit Dutch traditional style to go on flip-flops over here.
That's really cool.
That's usually how you see the Dutch abroad, you know, so why not the American on the Dutch fields?
Really cool that we have a former major leaguer here to throw out the first pitch.
That's absolutely awesome, especially for a nice match between United States, of course. I mean, the States, he's well known in the major league. Played indeed for big teams, and great to have a little bit of that the feeling of the major league on the Dutch fields, and it's good that they managed to get those nice names. We also had the president of the Curaçao Baseball Federation earlier today, also a big name, and it's nice to see for the people as well that they are showing themselves that they want to be on the field as well to throw the ceremonial first pitch.
As we're just about to get underway, as see a lot of familiar faces. It's funny when this, as this tournament progresses throughout the week, you keep seeing the same people every day. As I just waved a hello to Gawain Owen, the Cuba watcher from CubaDugout.com from the UK, rejoining us here in the press booth, and to our right, Rick van der Hurk. Thank you, the former major leaguer.
And current technical director of the Dutch Baseball Federation. Pretty new in that era. He's only been doing it for a couple of months now, but he's showing huge progress. He's a former major leaguer, has built a huge career in Japan and Korea as well.
Yep.
He not only literally but also figuratively speaking, a big guy over there.
Yep. Tall glass of water, as you would say.
Exactly. I asked him a couple of weeks ago how it was for him while he was playing in Japan, for example. How big of a superstar was he? And he told me that it was hard for him to actually go do the groceries with his wife because people were coming at him just to ask the autographs, and he's very much willing to sign. He's a super nice guy.
Speaking of autographs, by the way, right next to us is Milan van der Breggen, who plays baseball here in the Hoofdklasse in the Netherlands, and he's showing us his little book that he has. Can we see that real quick?
That's a pretty nice collection you got
there. You have the camera close, Jeroen?
Impressive.
As we're totally ruining the first pitch here, but Tanner Hall. We'll tell you all about Tanner Hall in a second. I just want to make sure we get this on screen if we can. This is Milan's book. So this is Jeremy Guthrie, who just threw out the first pitch, and then one page over, all of that, Rick van der Hurk.
Right in the center.
He had it signed by Rick van der Hurk.
That's awesome.
That's really cool. That's some great stuff. That's fantastic.
Nice.
So as we got underway in the meantime.
Yeah. Tanner Hall.
Tanner Hall.
Starting pitcher.
Let me tell you something about Tanner Hall. He pitches for Southern Mississippi. He was 9-3 with a 2.81 ERA at 109 innings pitched. As Moa grounds out to Ahuna at second base. As I was saying, a 2.81 ERA for Tanner Hall for Southern Miss. 9-3 with 109 innings, 146 strikeouts, and only 14 walks. He strikes out everyone and their mother and doesn't walk anyone.
Wow, that's actually impressive, not gonna lie. Also impressive the atmosphere that the Cubans are creating behind the Cuban dugout with the cowbells and everything. Love it, gotta love it. Now up for Cuba is third baseman Osvaldo Abreu, number 52 on his back.
Yeah, we do have the Caribbean drum band.
There's ball two. Just as you said that he's not throwing any balls. There's two balls in a row, of course. Commentator's curse, isn't it? And there is one. Strike one. Down the middle. Nice ball. We've seen some good pitching already during the week.
Absolutely.
There's ball three.
I'm excited to see Tanner Hall. Tanner Hall is one of those names that you keep hearing as you follow college baseball a little bit in the U.S. Oh, Jeremy Guthrie joining us right here now on the side. That's really cool.
And that's ball four. There you go. Base on balls for Osvaldo Abreu. Milan van der Breggen scoring his
he's getting his Guthrie signatures, his autographs. That's really cool. Guthrie, a guest of Rick van der Hurk. They were in the Baltimore Orioles organization together, coming up as younger players. That's really neat.
Next up for Cuba is the shortstop. It's Alexander Ayala. With a runner on first base, one out.
really hope everyone can hear the music being made here in the stadium. It's interesting. It's the guy with the Cuba hat who was in the stadium yesterday as well, but it's also a new person standing next to him playing the maracas, I think. So the Cubans are expanding here in Haarlem as Ayala whiffs right through that 88-mile-an-hour pitch by Hall. I really like what I've been seeing from this Ayala guy. I know he's not a young guy anymore by any stretch of the imagination, but he has been playing very, very well here in Haarlem so far.
Definitely showing his abilities to hit the ball well. Right-handed batter. That's down and out.
87-mile-an-hour fastball by Hall on the outside. As play has been interrupted real quick for a rogue baseball, I believe. Yep, a rogue baseball hit the field of play. A couple of kids playing catch in the outfield.
Yep.
One got away. Jason, let's make sure the whole world knows what we're doing.
Absolutely.
As Ayala chops that one foul into the left side, out of play.
1 ball and 2 strikes.
I'm loving
the atmosphere they're creating.
I am a huge fan.
Yeah, you see it more often during the week, during any week, either the baseball week or World Tour tournament, that usually fans from abroad that are coming from a little bit further usually expand during the week. And they either fly in new supporters or they just grow and maybe take the first couple of days to sightsee a little bit during in the country. And then during the week they'll join more and more on the stands over here, making for a great atmosphere usually. Especially if they advance to the later rounds. They're playing well.
As I know Team USA visited the Municipal Hall of Haarlem today, met with the mayor. A handful of players were allowed to meet the mayor of Haarlem, wearing their famous mayor chain.
Wow. Wow.
And yeah, did a little tour with Chairman Guus van Dee, chairman of the Baseball Week. Making sure to take in some culture, right? Some local culture. And the funny thing is, I forget who it was. I think it was Ayala hits himself in the foot.
Yep.
You hate when that happens. He's walking it off. It always looks like he's dancing to the tune of the beat, but yeah, that hurts. That's painful. So I was saying, Jaap Bonkelberg, our head of PR, told me that one of the players asked him if he could tell him how to walk from the city hall to the stadium because he wanted to see some Haarlem, some picturesque Haarlem.
Of course.
So
beautiful.
Yeah,
I love to show Haarlem. Whenever there's visitors from abroad over here, I love to show Haarlem. It's one of my favorites to show around because it's it's small, but there's so much culture to see. There's so much beautiful architecture to see. It's definitely, if you take someone from abroad and you're living abroad and you want to come to the Netherlands, definitely make a stop in Haarlem.
Absolutely.
Definitely worth it.
As Ayala clearly still in discomfort. That does not look like he's very happy right now.
Usually you see the protectors on the inside foot. But
he's old school.
He's old school.
He's a little older. He's
exactly.
old school.
He'll walk it off, just like you said.
As he's batting a clean .333 on the tournament. Has been having some success in the field as well with some spectacular plays at shortstop. As Hall nearly picks off Noah. Yeah, that's close.
It's already closer.
That's
a couple of throws ago. And again, keeping the runner on first base, Osvaldo Abreu, very short on the first base, making sure he's not going anywhere. There's the pitch.
That's a very nice pick there by Teal.
Kyle Teal, the catcher of the United States. And there's a little bit of a walking around here and there, a little bit of a timeout from the base runner. I guess with returning to the first base, he hurt himself a little bit on his knee or his foot, and he's trying to walk it off. So he took a little bit of time. He got the time to walk it off, do a sprint somewhere halfway, first and second base. And of course, Tanner Hall is making good use of that. Doing another pickoff attempt, fading again, but Abreu is showing discomfort on that first base. It's the second player with discomfort, not only Ayala, who's been hitting himself, but also Abreu on first base. And there's the...
Yeah, Ayala pops it up high into right field. That's a nice catch, an easy play in right field. As I can tell you that we've been getting messages again. We've received throughout the day questions and trivia and stats from all over the world. Yesterday we had a guy from Australia.
Oh, Australia.
Yeah, Anthony Pang was telling us
right.
everything we needed to know about Japanese university baseball. I've received stats from here in Harlem. People from Asa are checking in as well, so it's very nice to see so many people tuning into our stream here.
That's awesome. To everyone all over the world, of course, a warm welcome here from Harlem.
Especially from Asa. Beautiful city of Asa, as we're raving about Harlem, right?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Frederick Cepeda, the big man, number 34, about to walk into the batter's box and do his thing. The thing that he's been doing for more than 20 years. The guy who is a legend in international baseball, as we're still awaiting the recovery of Mo as a first base, who apparently died and got resurrected or something. I don't know what's going on here, but
yeah, it's Abreu who got hurt during the pickup attempts by Tanner Hall. There's the first pitch, and that's a strike. Frederick Cepeda. Two outs, runner on first base.
Cepeda, of course, the switch hitter. We haven't seen him bat right-handed at all yet during the tournament. He's only faced right-handed pitchers, which means that he is his 200 average is all from the left side. Led the Cuban League. I've said it before in other broadcasts. He led the Cuban League in hitting last year at age 41 or 42. He's 42 now. It's incredible. Someone that age still capable of performing at such a high level.
Absolutely, absolutely. You see it every now and then.
As he skies one into left field. That's Yohandy Morales at third base, almost tripping over his own feet. But it hangs up long enough to be caught in left field by Wyatt Langford, the University of Florida product, who chucks the ball back into the center. And that ends the top of the first, as we're finally getting to utilize our scoreboard to maximum effect. Daily recap videos on the screen now for people in the stadium who may or may not have yesterday.
It's absolutely awesome what they are managing, what they managed to do with the scoreboard over here. They've been doing such a great job trying to utilize it to the fullest, and you'll see during the week it will progress more and more, and possibilities will become clearer, and it will be easier to make use of it as well. But it's such a great thing to see that everyone around here in the stadium, around the stadium, everyone who's helping is doing such a great job to keep improving, to make the best of the tournament as they possibly can. Of course, you need a little bit of luck.
Yes, you do.
One of the things is usually the weather. As long as it doesn't rain, it's usually pretty good, especially here in the Netherlands.
Absolutely.
Maybe our Australian friend might think a tiny bit different, but
I don't think he's up yet. I think it's like 3:30 in the morning in Australia. He was telling us that he got out of bed at 3:30 in one morning to watch the University Japan team against this random team of Cubans. Like, that's dedication. at a level that I don't even.
And that says something. I can assure you that.
As my good friend Enrique Bradfield Jr. comes up today after the game, he looked right into the camera. That was quite funny, because usually when you do an interview after the game, like you look your interviewer in the eye.
Not in America, they don't.
Not Enrique.
Not in the
Kyle Teal, who I also spoke with. We have some video of Kyle Teal, by the way, later on in the show. As Bradfield chucks one into right field, and that's foul for strike one. Kyle Teal asked me before we started, do I look at you? Do I look at the camera? Because these are all college kids. These are 19, 20, 21, 22-year-olds. Like, they don't have a whole lot of media exposure, media, experience. Unlike Hall of Famer Mike Piazza, who I spoke with about an hour and a half ago, which I'm still very excited about.
Head coach of Italy.
Tremendous answers. Like, I asked him a 5-word question, and there's nothing to say for the next 3 minutes, because Mike filled it all up, and that's it's a sign of a professional who knows what to say when he's being asked questions. Mike Piazza was a fantastic interview, by the way. Just really good answers. I also spoke with Riccardo Paolini, the leadoff hitter for Team Italy, who won the Player of the Game award as Enrique Bradfield gets hit on the inside of the jersey for a free base for him. We've received some questions from Dutch fans why we're doing the broadcast in English, which is a fair question, but I'm more than happy to explain. For one of my regular co-announcers, Sean Houston, does not speak Dutch, so that's one. But that was obviously not the reason I approached him when I knew that we were going to do it in English. The reason we're doing it is because most Dutch people understand English just fine. And most Dutch people who like Baseball Week are in the stadium not watching our live stream. We're doing this for the foreigners, so to speak.
Yeah.
We're doing this for the Cuban fans, the American fans. As there goes Bradfield, and he will have that bag stolen. Speedy leadoff hitter Enrique Bradfield takes off and steals second base. So, yeah, we're doing this basically to offer a product to the fans from far away, or in any other country close by where they don't speak Dutch. Obviously, admittedly, not a very big language. So
no, yeah, surprisingly not.
No, surprisingly not. So I don't know. I mean, I understand Dutch people would like to have a Nederlandse stream. Het spijt me, jongens. Volgende keer misschien. Over 2 jaar hebben we voor jullie misschien wel een Nederlandse commentaartrack. Unfortunately, not this year. Maybe in 2 years we'll offer a switch button where you can press the button and you can decide who you want to listen to.
Yeah, well, there will be a light bulb blinking here, and that tells us whether we need to speak Dutch or English.
Exactly. We'll see how it develops. But for now, obviously, a lot of Dutch people can understand us just fine. So Dylan Cruz steps in. Dylan Cruz, one of the best hitters on the American team. Switched spot in the lineup with Wyatt Langford, who was hitting second yesterday. Cruz was hitting cleanup. They swapped in the lineup around Jacob Gonzalez, who's batting third for the United States. Cruz now in right field.
Just saw it flying by on the inside, making it count 2-1.
As Cruz pops it up way high. We got the Cuban catcher giving chase. That's I was going to say a very nice basket catch, but
just dropped it. It hit the glove, but he couldn't control it. Hard enough. He was doubting whether he could even reach it or whether it would go into the audience. But he was close.
You see Cruz's mustache on the graphic on screen. That's I refer to it as the majestic mustache and the majestic mullet because he's got both.
The mullet.
I can't wait for this guy to get a hold of one. I have a feeling it's going to fly over the DSS clubhouse in center field. He's one of the kids who absolutely raked in batting practice.
Down on the outside for ball 3. And of course, for every mullet goes to saying business in the front, party in the back. But the mustache, I gotta say, really finishes it off.
Some confusion about the count here. Let's see what the situation is. So
Yeah, the confusion comes from that from the foul ball that the catcher didn't manage to get. They didn't put it on the scoreboard just yet, but they did now. So it's full count. Sorry, it's not full count. It's 2-2. Confusion moves over to the commentator booth.
Yeah, that's. As Cruz fouls it back, out of play. I can't believe Cruz is still hitting a 0. Now there's still confusion about the count. Like, guys, what's going on? This reminds me of, I was talking to Sean Houston yesterday in the broadcast about this. Did you see the other day?
No.
That the umpires in the United States had to use video replay to figure out what the count was.
Oh.
There are 4 umpires on the field. None of them know what the count is. That was
technology. Thank you very much.
That's not great. As Cruz,
Out.
he was, yeah.
A lot of error. Big swing. But indeed, the count was a full count actually.
I could feel the air, like the wind from that swing right here. Holy Toledo!
Yeah, that was a big swing. He had some plans, Dylan Cruz.
Jacob Gonzalez, who I feel like I know better than my brother, because I use him as a template for all the graphics that we made.
Oh,
so
really?
for about a week I saw nothing but Jacob Gonzalez's face. That was before I had all the pictures, so I basically made all the teams with Jacob Gonzalez's face in it.
Oh, he's a handsome fella, not gonna lie.
And then I changed every single one of them to whichever
righteous pictures.
Yes. Oh, Jacob. Speaking of Jacob, he
Fouls it back.
torques that one into... Oof! Someone was not paying attention. That almost hit someone square in the head. That would have been bad.
Someone's happy with the foul ball.
Yeah.
I gotta say, that's also part of the experience here in the stadium
Absolutely.
as well. If anyone gets a foul ball and they hold it up to show it to the audience, they usually get a nice round of applause. All adds to the atmosphere around here in the stadium.
I just realized we haven't given the people at home the lineups for both teams yet, so we should probably do that in between innings.
Absolutely.
How about we do that? We haven't even mentioned who's starting for Cuba. This is a rookie mistake in the broadcast. It's Jose Rodriguez on the hill for the Cubans.
Right-handed pitcher, as you probably already saw.
I feel like Jose Rodriguez is one of those names. There's a billion of them in every single town in Latin America.
Oh, yeah.
It's like the Jan Janssen of...
yeah, exactly.
Or the John Smith in the United States.
Exactly.
As Rodriguez is really taking his time now. I don't think they're fully on the same page, this pitcher and catcher right now. Stadium only roughly halfway full, if that at all.
If that, so there's, I mean, if you're listening in and watching in on the live stream right now, and you are somewhere around, please come to the stadium these days, because there's room and
plenty of space.
I appreciate that you're tuning in, definitely, and I like the fact that you like to listen to our voices. We're more than happy to help you out, but there's nothing like a baseball game in real life. So if you have the chance, please come to the stadium, because it's definitely worth it.
Really slowed down here in the first inning already. It's Rodriguez is really not having a good time as he winds and delivers the pitch. That's hit on the ground to second base by Gonzalez. That'll be out number 2 at first base. It does move Bradfield over to third. And that brings up Wyatt Langford, University of Florida hitter. According to my colleague Sean Houston, who is a big Wyatt Langford fan since they went to the same university.
Ah, nice.
According to Sean, Wyatt is a big-time power hitter with the capability of banging one over the wall at any time.
You can see it in his build as well. A big upper torso, strong in his upper body. But you gotta make the swing with your full body. You gotta start with your toes and all the way to the tip of your fingers. Got to use every single muscle in that swing, and then time it right. That's
Got a question earlier today. What our booth situation is. Someone is interested to see or to know how we are set up. Like, I'm more than happy to explain it after this Jose Rodriguez's pitch. That's a very good fastball, 90 miles an hour on the black on the outside. So how we're set up here basically is you and I both have a headset on.
absolutely.
With a little microphone in front of our face. That's the way we're communicating with you. It's plugged into a little mixer right in front of me that we can use to regulate our voices, or at least the volume of our headsets. Then I have a laptop to my left that I use to look up stats or talk to people who are sending in questions. Yes, that is a great slider by Rodriguez, and he gets out of that jam pretty nicely, striking out Wyatt Langford. And to your right, as I'm sitting to your left and you're sitting to my right, to your right we have a computer screen on which we can take a look at a live feed of what, because there's a 2-minute delay, in case you guys didn't know at home. When you hear my voice, that was about 2 minutes ago. So we needed a screen that shows us exactly what our producer is doing. So we have a live monitor to our right that shows us exactly where we are in the action.
There we are.
Oh, there we are.
Have a little wave.
Wave at the people at home. Hello, everybody.
How you doing, guys?
That's us.
Thank you for tuning in.
Laptop, mixer,
Absolutely.
little computer monitor. Jason to my right, me to his left.
Time for the lineups, guys. How about that? See if we can get you through the lineups. Let's actually do the United States lineup. Let's go to the batting order. In midfield, center field, we have Enrique Bradfield. Right field is Dylan Cruz. Shortstop is Jacob Gonzalez. Left field is Wyatt Langford. Catcher is Kyle Teal. Third base, Yohandy Morales. The DH is Jack Hurley. First base is Trey Morgan. And second base is Maui Ahuna.
And then for Cuba, we got Lionel Moa leading off, followed by Osvaldo Abreu, Alexander Ayala, Frederick Spada, Guillermo Aviles, Dennis Laza, Carlos Benitez, Ivan Prieto, Alex Quimero Sanchez, and Jose Rodriguez, as mentioned, the starting pitcher.
You can see them also really quick in the screen. Thank you for that, graphic designer. Starting pitcher for the United States is Tanner Hall. We already named him a couple of times. And for Cuba, it's Jose Rodriguez.
I'm actually kind of worried whenever we have to talk about the U.S. because as much as I try to fact check myself with everything, I don't want to screw up because Cameron Harris is listening to us about like 6 feet to my left.
Oh yeah, you better not screw up, my man.
I'm sure he will email me if I say anything that makes no sense.
Well, I guess our email boxes will be really filled up then.
Thank you.
Just kidding.
A lot of faith. A lot of faith.
Just kidding. It all makes sense. Absolutely.
We're getting underway in the second inning here as Hall fires and delivers a strike. 80-mile-an-hour breaking ball to Aviles, who's hitting 167 for the tournament.
Guillermo Aviles batting left, and there's the roll. Okay, throws it to the pitcher. Little flick to the pitcher, just to be sure to not having to do the rundown himself. As first baseman Trey Morgan.
Really feeling the groove here. Oh, we got a coach coming out of the U.S. dugout, removing, like basically doing some moving around, some shifting of his outfield. So we see the outfield shifting slightly to the left.
That ball is pretty wide.
As the stadium announcer plays some typical Dutch music to cover up the Cubans. That is a 80-mile-an-hour pitch on the inside for Hall.
2-0 count. And that's also down and out. 3-0. And that's ball 4. Another base on balls for Tanner Hall.
as that bat basically ended up in the dugout. But, all right.
Yeah, he's struggling to find the outside corner. It's falling wide too much. That's his second base on balls. So far, it didn't hurt him really much. Abreu didn't get much further than first base. And there's the outside corner that he was looking for. For strike one.
Benitez, a little rotund fella. He's not hitless for the tournament still. Looking for his first hit. The Cubans, as a whole, had some ups and downs in their tournament so far. As I see a gentleman walk by in front of me who has the same hat as I was talking about on yesterday's broadcast, the WBC Team Japan hat. Gorgeous baseball hat right there.
Definitely.
Japanese flag on the side. As I'm pulling up the Cuban batting average, and I'm more than happy to tell you that pretty much the only one who's had a modicum of success has been Dennis Laza, who was in today's lineup as well.
Well, Carlos Benitez strikes out.
Laza is batting 500 on the tournament, going 3 for 6 with an RBI, whereas everyone else is batting 286 or lower. We got Ayala and Moa hitting 286, then Prieto right at the Mendoza line, and everyone else is under. With Benitez, Perez, and Sanchez. 0 for the tournament.
I'm not gonna lie, those aren't great stats.
Nope, they're not having a good time yet. Still maybe a bit jet lagged. They came in late on Thursday night. I was at the hotel when they arrived. Generally, Cuba arrives late, right in front of the tournament, and then they get an extra day off. Cuba hardly ever plays on day one. Tournament director Leon Raufstein makes sure to give them an extra day off to recover from their travels. The US have been in town for a little longer, a couple days earlier. They arrived on Tuesday or Wednesday. And Italy, obviously, much closer. I don't know when Japan arrived, to be honest, but they seemed to be settled in when I arrived at the hotel. They were all like very comfortable. They knew exactly where the food and where the drinks were.
Oh, they must have been there for a couple of days.
A couple of days at least, yeah. Our umpires today might be good to give him a shout out. As Prieto grounds one to short, where it's fielded cleanly by Gonzalez. Nice play by Trey Morgan at first. To retire this side. Our umpire at home plate. John Beltman, Edwin Luisa at first, Nick Elsoff at second, and Marek for Republic umpire at third.
When I tell people that about what we do over here with baseball, usually surprised. Oh, I didn't even know they were playing baseball in the Netherlands or in Europe, for that matter. One of the countries that I usually name as well as one of the countries that likes baseball and softball, for that matter, is Czech Republic.
That's right.
They are very into baseball and softball. Always have been big at the softball tournaments as well. One of the great contenders for European titles.
Yep.
Alongside Italy and the Dutch team. And the Czech Republic is one of those, definitely one of those teams that you're also maybe a little bit surprised of, that you wouldn't necessarily put together, you know, with baseball or softball, for that matter. Usually it's hockey, ice hockey for the Dutch people. In the United States they say hockey. And gotta say that it usually gives a lot of positive feedback, good vibes for people to know that there's actually a pretty good baseball and softball competition going on over here on the European continent. And of course I'm also a little bit proud to say that we in the Netherlands, and as Team Kingdom of the Netherlands, we are holding up pretty well. And, to always make the best out of it, given the circumstances, of course. I mean, we don't have the facilities, for example, that they do have in the US, but that's totally fine. That's totally fine. You don't need that much to play baseball.
That's right.
So we just started with the second half of the second inning. First up for the United States is catcher Kyle Teal, playing with number 4 on his back.
I love Kyle Teal, man. He was so funny in the post-game interview the other day. Just such a funny, cheerful guy.
Tell us a little bit more. Where can people find the post-game interviews, or any interview for that matter? Where do you post them?
Facebook.com/honkballweek, Twitter.com/honkballweek, Instagram.com/honkballweek.
I just want to say that.
There you go.
Nice. And if you were to, let's say, search on Google, what would your preferred search?
My preferred search would be Honkballweek.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's not that difficult. Yeah, no, it's definitely easy to find, I would say. Not a lot of overlap with the word Honkball Week in the world.
True that.
Yeah.
That's one of the advantages of having a language that not everyone speaks. There we go.
As Kyle Teal looks at a ball low, that's 89 miles an hour from Rodriguez. As we do have some warming up in the Cuban bullpen already. Not a very active warm-up. It's just more of like a stroll and a dance and a swing of an arm here and there. But there is definitely someone in the bullpen looking like he might be coming into the game as Teal crushes one into center field, but it dies. Medium depth as Teal is retired. Teal, of course, who had the Little League home run grand slam the other day. That led to the United States breaking open a 0-0 tie with Italy.
Yeah, that was a fantastic moment.
And Yohanny Morales, who's stepping up to bat now, went yard in the same inning, hit the ball over the right field wall. Morales hitting 600 on the tournament for U.S.
Probably, it's not very likely we're going to see a lot of home runs tonight, because there's a little bit of breeze as we look to the flags. Blowing inside the ballpark as Morales.
Daar gaat hij dan. Doe je linkerhand omhoog en doe je rechterhand omhoog.
Yeah, also at home.
Everyone at home, raise your left hand, raise your right hand, and clap. Please do.
Morales had a pretty big dodge to do in order not to get hit in his face. That was actually quite dangerous. And sometimes you want to take one for the team, but not this one. No, thank you. Looking at a 1-2 count.
I'm just waiting for the security guy to my left to tell this kid in the white shirt he's not allowed to stand there. As Yohanny strikes out.
Looking even. That's a nice slider down the center, actually. Looked to go to the inside, but slid into the better zone.
That brings up Jack Hurley, the DH. Still hitless on the tournament as well. Let me pull up the Team USA hitting stats for the tournament so we can make fun of the people who don't have a hit yet on this one too. Not a whole lot, to be honest. Dylan Cruz, Jack Hurley, and Braden Taylor are the only 3 hitless players on Team US. So far, Hurley hasn't played in all games. He's 0 for 1 on the tournament, so I mean, small sample size.
Exactly. But you don't hit your first one, that's okay.
Leading the team is Yohanny Morales at the 600 batting average, and I guess Jacob Wilson is 1 for 1, so.
Yeah, there you go.
As that ball's in the dirt from Rodriguez.
Two and 1 to count, 2 outs, no one on the bases. Maybe not. No, that's going to be a ground out to second base. That's a 1-2-3 inning for Cuba. Getting out of that pretty easily. And pretty strong.
As we're taking a look at Kyle Thiel's Little League Grand Slam from yesterday. Hit the ball into left field. Bobbled twice by the Italian left fielder. It scored 3 runs ahead of him. Then Thiel goes to third, and that ball skips into left field, which allowed Thiel to score on a Little League Grand Slam.
I love the term.
Yeah. A home run on an
Love it. But hey, in the end, it doesn't matter how you score them as long as they get over home plate, and they will count.
That is exactly right. As we're awaiting the finishing of the first pitches, as we see Colin Pelosi of Team USA, one of the media people, with a gigantic camera on the field. I don't know if I would have that camera that close to a pitcher that's throwing, to be honest. You don't want it to get hit by a baseball.
Here's now the beginning. Opening shot man for Cuba. And number 10, Alexander Alex Sanchez.
Alex Guillermo Sanchez, right fielder of Cuba, looking for that first pitch. He gets it, doesn't take it though. Strike one. That's down and out.
80-mile-an-hour pitch. As I'm looking over the shoulder of Jacob of Synergy Sports, mentioned plenty of times before in this broadcast. I think his tablet died today. And he's keeping track of all these pitches on his phone right now. That seems like a lot of work for me, to be honest. As umpire Roy van der Watering joins us here in the press box. Good to see Roy. Part of the crew that did the afternoon game today.
Yep, absolutely.
As I also see Louis Sanders walk into the ballpark. Not looking our way. I'm trying to wave at him as Sanchez strikes out.
Also denied Alex Guillermo Sanchez.
Vervolgens aanslag midvelder Leonel Moa.
As we've now been spotted, he's followed. I think, is that Delano Salasso? Can't tell.
Yes, I think you're right. Yeah.
Can't tell. Don't know. Haven't seen Delano without a hat ever.
Exactly, yeah.
So Team Kingdom in the house, regardless. As Louis Seniors, of course, mentioned before, bullpen catcher for Team Kingdom and also their media maven.
And meanwhile, I can definitely confirm that that indeed was Delano Salasso, one of the big talents of Team Kingdom of the Netherlands. He has a bright future in front of him. Still young. Actually able to do multiple positions in the infield. Shortstop, second base. While Leonel Moa is the second out of this inning. Another strikeout and a big swing as well.
As once again, we have a coach coming out of the U.S. dugout to relocate his outfielders. As you can see on your screen, you see in center field, Enrique Bradfield move a couple of steps to his right, our left. Apparently they have very intricate scouting reports on these players that we have never seen before, so spy satellites probably taking a look at the Serie Nacional in Cuba.
Another big swing there. They are going for it on Cuban side. Feel like there might not be a lot to get once you get on the bases, because to get something going is pretty hard against the defense of this USA team. So maybe the way to do it is with those big hits and maybe swing for it to swing it over the fence, but It's hard with these circumstances, man. Not gonna lie. There's a breeze blowing into the field and another big swing there. Yeah, they're definitely going for it. They changed a little bit of tactics. Instead of just contact hitting, they're now going for the big swings.
We're getting
so far they haven't hit anything.
Nope. We're getting a question sent to the broadcast again, so you can always send in your questions. You can use Twitter, you can use our Facebook page, respond, leave a comment under the post of our live stream. Ask us some questions if you want. I'm receiving a question from Patrick van Gogh, very well-known person in the Dutch baseball. Works at Twins Oosterhout, one of the Hoofdklasse organizations, Dutch Major League organizations. He's asking, I'm asking you this question from my vacation address in Italy. Ooh, I'm quite jealous. He's asking, how do the players react to playing 7 innings? Is there a different approach entering the game? That's actually a very good question, because I've asked the managers, but I have not asked the players how they feel about the 7 innings. I do know that, as Osvaldo Abreu strikes out, that a lot of the players were in favor of playing shorter games and playing more games in shorter succession. They wanted to play more ball games in shorter time. As so I haven't asked them really, but I do believe that they kind of like the 7-inning thing. It's quick games, quicker games, and it allows them to play more different opponents.
Absolutely, and you even see during games that the lack of time that they have sometimes when you play defense to like stretch it out more, you can't go like full at it every single game, every single time. You have to more spread it out over more innings, which means that if you have a bigger difference in quality between two teams, for example, there's a longer and more extended time with 9 innings to actually extend the lead, for example. So actually what you see now is because of the shorter games, the lack of time also decreases the difference in quality. In terms of the different, there's less time to display. So both teams have to go right. In the results of all the within the games, absolutely
correct.
And I actually think you can see right now this setup right now. It's a tryout, of course. It's a new way of doing it. It allows more games during the week itself, but also within the game, it allows for a little bit more intense playing, and that's what you see during the game as well. You see high action, high paced gameplay.
As Trey Morgan is robbed there of a base hit by a fantastic play at second base by Carlos Benitez, who, despite his and then he drops the ball when they're throwing the ball around. That's amazing. So he makes an incredible play on a difficult, hard hit ball, but now he drops the ball. Trey Morgan retired, as we may have just lost audio for just a little bit earlier. In case that was the case, we apologize. We're glad you're back with us. As we're headed to the next batter, Maui Ahuna from Hilo, Hawaii. As we figured out yesterday, former Kansas product, now with University of Tennessee.
Both teams are doing a great job of keeping their opponents off the bases.
That's goose eggs across the board. Nothing but zeros. No runs, no hits, no errors for either side. As Rodriguez fires 87-mile-an-hour fastball high. As Jeremy Guthrie has left the building, he was sitting a mere 5 meters away from us, not even 3 meters away from us before for a while. But him and his buddy Rick van der Herk have left the building, or at least have left the stands here.
We'll probably see them both back. I've heard that Guthrie is staying for another 5 days over here, so
Well, there you
probably staying
go.
the
We
rest
might
of
have to get him on the broadcast.
Exactly. Base and balls for Maui Ahuna. It's the second time that the United States actually get on the bases. First one was actually the lead-off batter for the United States in the very first inning. He came on the bases by a hit by pitch. He made it to third base in the end, but this is only the second base runner that we see on the U.S. side.
Brings Enrique Bradfield Jr. to bat.
The one who already got on base?
Yep. With as he pops it up behind third base. That's a long run for the left fielder. Is he going to get there? He will not. He decides not to leave his feet, which is understandable. I wouldn't either. Bradfield from, sorry, what were you going to say?
Sorry, no, I just wanted to remember you that you already did that right before the game, that you already made a dive.
I already made a dive, yeah.
Yeah, sorry about that.
No, it's all good. I tripped over a wire, people. Jason's making fun of me because I tripped over a wire. Trying to squeeze myself past him because he was just basically hogging the booth by himself. And I had to go jump through hoops to get past him to get to my seat in the booth. And
how did that go?
Yep, tripped over an HDMI cable, nearly pulling a €2,000 MacBook to the ground as Bradfield will hit into a force out at second base, but he is safe at first. He's just too fast. Enrique Bradfield. Yeah, I'd much rather sacrifice my own body than be responsible for a €2,000 laptop smacking into pieces on the ground. So I'm very happy that.
You know, that's very, very praiseful. Well done.
We already saw Samantha, our other producer, earlier this week drop a very expensive camera. Very expensive camera.
Oops.
And everyone who has anything to do with media here cringed when that happened. So
yeah, that hurts. That hurts your
yeah,
heart.
It's not great. Oof. As Dylan Cruz steps in, this is a perfect time for his first hit of the tournament.
Struck out in his first at bat. Feels pick up there on first base.
Bradfield is just too fast, man. But he stole first in the first inning, so I can understand the Cubans trying to keep him short a little bit and not giving him too much space. Doesn't seem too phased, but a pickoff tempest. There's another one. That's very close. That is low. Rodriguez has a sneaky fast pickup move. Pickoff move.
Absolutely.
Pickup move maybe too. I don't know how he is with the ladies, but.
Yeah. Oh, his pick-off move is sneaky fast.
Sneaky fast.
Yeah, he definitely doesn't want Enrique Bradfield to lead off too much because he already stole a base on his watch.
There he goes.
There he goes again.
That's a good pitch to get him out. That's
Save on second base. He's so fast. Enrique Bradfield
Nick Elsof
just dodged it.
It looked like he was about to call him out, and then he changed it to save. Oh. Yeah, Bradfield is looking to get the stolen base championship here.
Yep.
Exciting player.
He brings so much to the table as well.
Yep, definitely. As the count is 0-1. Yep, the scoreboard now caught up as well, because that pitch was definitely a strike to Dylan Cruz.
2 outs, runner on second.
It's a good check by Cruz. That breaking pitch fell below the zone at the very last second. Rodriguez, a diligent worker. He's not someone who's in a hurry. Our Cuban friend is just yelling at the Cuban players in the dugout. He's yelling at them. It's hysterical as that pitch is outside. What would your estimate be, Jason, for the amount of people in the stadium today, right now?
1,500?
Yeah, I would say
16 maybe?
yeah, I'm going to go with 1631.
That's actually
It's not even an estimate.
That's spot on. I just checked. Everyone taking his time here. 3-1 to count. 2 outs. There's a lot at stake right now. Runner on second. Still Bradfield looking for that third base. Aiming for it. Doesn't need to right now because Dylan Cruz goes to first base with base on balls. It's ball 4. Saw it going down and up. Runners on first and second now. And there's the visit from the coach to the mound. It's gonna have a little word with the pitcher, Jose Rodriguez.
And Bradfield seizes the opportunity to go have a chat at third base with, I think that's Scott Godwin, or at least his name is Godwin, I think his last name. I don't have the roster here.
I actually do. Yeah.
Cliff Godwin. It's Scott Brown and Cliff Godwin. There we go. I knew I had it seemingly a little bit right. As we're awaiting the continuation of this game. It's getting chilly. Jason is putting his jacket on.
Yes, I am. Sorry about that. The sun is going down now, and still that breeze going on through the stadium all day, actually, even though it's been sunny. There's a nice breeze going on around the stadium, which makes it very, very comfortable. Supporters here in the stadium.
Absolutely. Jacob Gonzalez, the batter, batting 125 on the tournament. He's looking at the first pitch. That's a breaking ball in the dirt for ball 1.
Another one of those breaking balls that breaks really late at the last time, at the last occasion. Like right before the plate, it just dives down. And you also see the catcher having a little bit of struggles with that. Trying to read that ball.
Trying to sneak a peek over the shoulder of Rafael Gonzalez, the scout who's sitting in front of me. As Gonzalez hits a base hit into right field, and that's going to play to run. Bradfield way too fast to throw out. Beautiful running style, Enrique Bradfield, by the way. U.S. take a 1-run lead here on the RBI base hit by Ole Miss national champion Jacob Gonzalez. Gives you a chance to update your scorecard.
As I'm doing right now. I always love to update my scorecards during the game. As an announcer, it's always a good thing to see what happened during the game.
Sean was doing the same earlier, Sean Houston, but he forgot his scorecards at home, so he drew his own on like a piece of paper.
I know the feeling, Sean. I know the feeling, the struggles.
And as long as you guys
been there, done that.
I can just look at your scorecards if I need to know anything.
Definitely.
As that 88-mile-an-hour fastball is outside and low for ball 1 to Wyatt Langford, the University of Florida product, or soon-to-be product. I guess he's not done yet. Let's assume he graduates.
Yeah, absolutely. There's no reason not to.
Long look in for Rodriguez here as he comes set. Winds and delivers. That's a strike. 77-mile-an-hour slider. And it caught the plate.
Struck him out in his first at bat. Wyatt Langford. Swinging, actually. Caught him swinging. That's on the outside. No need for a swing over there. Good eye. There is the swing and the contact. It goes through the middle for an RBI base hit for Wyatt Langford. it was nice that he was waiting for that ball to come down the middle, looking left, trying right, and just waiting for his pitch, and he found it. Dylan Cruz came over home plate for the second run for the United States, the second consecutive run, that is.
That brings up our main man, Kyle Teal. Some excellent cities of origin for these players. We already talked about Enrique Bradfield from Hialeah, Florida, which is I love that name, Hialeah. It just sounds great. It sounds like a beer brand.
Yeah.
And
I'd love to drink a beer that's called
yeah,
that.
I know.
Absolutely.
And Teal, of course, from Mahwah, New Jersey, which sounds like a 7-Eleven kind of store, like Wawa, you know? You got this Wawa chain, the gas station in the United States. No, Mahwah sounds like a gas station chain.
Exactly. Yep.
I don't hate it. I love it.
Mahwah, New Jersey.
Never been. Been in New Jersey, never been to Mahwah.
No. I actually have never been to New Jersey, even though it's on the East Coast.
Yes, Teal hits one. Foul, not a play.
Playing for the University of Virginia. Know a lot of people actually that have been there as well. I tend to go quite often to that area, to Virginia, Maryland, and DC, the DMV area, as they call it over there.
You're one of the few people in the United States who likes going to the DMV.
Yeah, exactly. Not driving, though. Driving over there is absolutely terrible, especially Maryland, by the way. I gotta say, I've never seen worse drivers. And I've been to places where they drive terrible, but Maryland, even in the United States, they say, okay, there's no such place for drivers as they do in Maryland.
As that ball is bobbled at third, but the out is recorded at third base anyway.
Jacob Gonzalez is the
yeah, you were in the DMV area recently, right?
Absolutely, I've been there for during the whole winter actually, 5 months, November through March, and I love going there. Not gonna lie, it's a beautiful area, beautiful with the hills, a lot of wineries over there. Especially during...
You're a little bit of a whiner, so that makes sense.
Okay. No, I deserve that one.
After you made fun of me for tripping over a wire.
Absolutely, you're right. I deserve that one. 1-1 for us. I love the DMV area, especially Virginia.
Oh, look at that. Nice. Milan van der Breggen, the man who had the very fancy signed baseball cards for Rick Van Herk earlier. He's now showing us a mint condition Frederick Cepeda baseball card.
Absolutely.
This makes me want to start collecting baseball cards again as well.
Yeah, you had a nice collection?
I still have it, but I haven't expanded it in like 20 years.
That's a shame. I got a couple of nice ones. Actually, last year when I was in New York, a little over a year and a half ago, I was in New York and Brooklyn, and a good friend of mine over there. He actually had as it goes in Brooklyn, everyone knows each other, and there was this guy who designs baseball cards, unique baseball cards for that matter. And when he heard that I'm into baseball and from the Netherlands, he was like, okay, I gotta run home, I gotta give you something. So he came back with this full bag of baseball cards that he designed himself, and exclusive baseball cards with exclusive designs. And they also designed it as they did it with baseball cards in the 50s and 60s.
Oh,
like a modern design of those original designs.
In the meantime, while you're telling me that great story, by the way, we see a couple of players from Team Italy in their casual clothing, polo shirts from Team Italy, shorts and sneakers, get to the ballpark. So they must have taken a shower, changed, and were like, well, you know what? I want to go see what these two countries are all about, USA and Cuba, obviously the two of the top nations in international baseball. So I always enjoy that when players come to watch the other teams. We occasionally see some Kingdom players. I don't think we're going to see that at all this week for multiple reasons. One of them being that they're in a hotel very far away from here, as opposed to the other teams who are literally a mile away. As Ayala, it's a single after the ball bounces weirdly off of the turf or the grass here over Yohandi Morales. That is rightfully ruled a base hit, not an error by our good friend Yohandi at third. It's a good name too, Yohandi. Yohandi Morales. Good name. It's a good name.
Absolutely.
It's a good baseball name. As we got Frederick Cepeda to bat. Maybe Milan should run over now and get an autograph while Cepeda is batting. I'm sure he'd appreciate that.
Don't disturb him. He's very maliciously.
Oh, he's gluing it into his book,
album. Yeah, absolutely.
That's cool stuff, man. I love baseball cards. So sometimes when you go to the U.S., there's like, or you go to a Dunham's or like a Sports Authority or whatever, there's these giant boxes by checkout with just like, all right, this is a whole box of 1989 Topps cards. You know, you don't know what you're gonna get, but you can buy them for like $2 a pair. Like, all right, give me a couple of packages.
Yep.
We'll see where it takes me.
Yeah, one of my personal favorites that was in that collection that I actually got as a gift was my reproduction of Jackie Robinson.
Ooh.
Love that one. But also, since he knew that I usually like supporting, actually, I'm a lot in the stadium. Let's put it that way. The Washington Nationals. I thought, you know what? Let's give him some Nationals players as well. Alright, yeah. Love that. Oh, there we have a nice shot of the
Cuban fans.
Cuban fans making all the atmosphere in the stadium around here. That's fantastic.
Can we got to come up with a name for that section. There's always like, when there's a section dedicated to someone or something, they always give it a name, right?
Cube A.
Cube A, there you go. That's all we need. You did it. That's not Section A, that's Cube A.
Exactly.
Cepeda takes a long look and sees that pitch hook outside and for a ball. It's 2-2.
Full count now for Cepeda. Frederick. Runner on first. Ooh, big swing and a miss. That's a shame for Cepeda. It was a good opportunity to advance his teammate Yohandi Morales. But he went for the big swing as well, not so much for contact. As they tend to do at the Cuban hitters. Still those big swings, even though there's now a runner on base. You could choose, you could opt for a little bit more security in just contact hitting. They still, even at a full count, and runner on first, they still opt for the big swings. While this pitch is going to the feet. Ayala,
excuse me,
waiting on first base for those pitchers. Both pitchers taking their time now. There's the hit. There's the contact that we were talking about, and he's going to first base. It's Guillermo Aviles. He's sending Alexander Alaya to second base, and maybe Cuba will get something going now. Maybe they can get a rally now. And immediately you see the infield coming together. Okay, guys, what are we doing? How are we going to take this on?
Denis Laza, the top hitter on the Cuban team so far this tournament, is stepping in. This is a perfect opportunity for the Cubans to put some runs on the board with runners on first and second, only one out here in the inning, and Laza being the 500 hitter at the tournament so far that he is. Definitely the guy you want to see up if you're a Cuban fan right now. As I have a feeling there's this Cuba press guy to our left sitting right next to Cameron Harris from Team USA, who's basically doing a live radio play-by-play in his headset from his phone.
Yep. You spotted that exactly right, to be honest.
He's talking non-stop. As our live stream was stolen the other day by a Cuban YouTube channel as well, by the way.
Yeah, how about that?
We told them to cut that out or we'll sue the hell out of them.
Exactly. Yeah, even though it's internet, there are still rules.
Yep, there's still something called copyright and trademark.
Absolutely.
We're spending a lot of money to get you this this stream all week long, live stream for every single game. A lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of manpower, a lot of effort, a lot of energy.
Exactly.
Not something that you should be stealing and rebroadcasting without our permission. So, as they always say for MLB, hello.
Ooh, that's safe. It looked like he was going to be grounded out to the shortstop, but he didn't. It was Dennis Laza with the infield hit. And while the music is going wild in the stadium over here, he was a little bit early with starting that song. That's okay. Errors can happen out of the field. That's okay. But more importantly, Dennis Laza is at first base. Guillermo Aviles made it to second base. Alexander Ayala now at third base. Bases are loaded.
And we're getting a mound visit.
But yep, saw that one coming.
Scott Brown coming out, the longtime Vanderbilt University pitching coach. One of the best in the business, for sure. Someone I would expect at some point league organization to revamp their pitching system. Because, you know, if you've been doing it for this long, the way he has, just cramming out fantastic pitcher after fantastic pitcher, then you're doing something right.
Just the man, wise words to the man on the mound right now, Tanner Hall. He's in a little bit of trouble right now. Just one out and the base is loaded. Carlos Benitez now waiting for his turn to get in action. They're trailing by 2 Cuba, so they need to get something, and this is the opportunity for them to take it. First pitch to wind up. And he's checking. No, that's no swing according to the first base umpire. This is a big moment in this game. And the fourth inning. Big moment for Carlos Benitez. Will he make it count? There's the wind up. There's the throw. It's on the outside. Ball 2.
I'm loving the coaching from the Team USA dugout, by the way, right now. As we see Cliff Godwin out of the dugout, top step all the time, talking to his players, moving him around, signaling, touching the back of his hat. That's apparently that means something for these guys. As the next pitch by Hall is a strike. He's constantly out there talking to his players, letting them know where to stand, what to do. As Hall comes set and fires, and that's a swing and strike for Benitez.
2-2 the count. Oh, this is exciting. You can feel it in the dugouts as well. Everyone is anxiously waiting for what's going to happen. That's another swing and a miss. Oh, for Carlos Benitez. Big swing again. That's his second strike out of this game. A lot of big swings from the Cubans, even though all they needed right now, especially with only one out, just Carlos Benitez, was just contact, man. Just contact. And he goes again for the big swing. Why would you want to do that? maybe tactical, not the best decision from him to do, but they have another chance. That's the lucky thing about it. It's Ivan Prieto now, batting for the Cubans. That ball is low on the outside for ball one. Pressure is on for Tanner Hall. Wind up is there.
83.
And low on the outside. Ball two.
I'm looking over to my left as that is ruled a strike. I see Louis Senior, as mentioned before, sitting in the stands here in the crowd, and he's got his laptop in his lap, and it looks like he's editing videos while he's in the stands watching baseball here.
Probably.
You gotta love it. Baseball is a perfect sport for that, as that is fouled into the left field territory. Because you can just, there's so much downtime. There's so much time where you can just look away, look around you, come up with a new topic to talk about.
Absolutely.
Or edit some video content like Louis is doing right now.
Probably doing, yep. Although I wouldn't look away from this pitch right here. It's a 2-2 count with 2 outs. All 2s on the board.
Guess who's out there again? Coaching.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they're anxiously waiting. And he fouls it off to the backside. Oh, he's so close to hitting it.
Prieto, the catcher from Alazanes de Grama from Holguin. It's funny because there's a guy on Team Italy who was also born in Holguin.
Oh.
So there you go. They can share tales from the hood.
Yeah, exactly.
From the town they grew up in.
Holguin. Great stories.
That is fouled and on the ground, so it's foul tip.
So close, so close. He's now defending, struggling to hang in there in this at bat. Because it became a real battle between Tanner Hall and Ivan Prieto.
Relentless, these Cubans. They're leaning onto a railing now, though. They were standing up before, but they're getting a little tired. Oh, no, back up they go.
Oh, yeah, they're feeling it as well. This is the moment that it can happen. It can happen right now. There's the wind up.
Oh, what a pitch by Hall.
Swing and a miss again, and it's a beautiful pitch indeed.
Oh, that was Hall's hardest fastball of the day. That is incredible. Wow. Amazing performance there by Hall, and
good. Guess what? 6 strikeouts in the past 2 innings.
That's unbelievable. Yeah, he's really turned it on, even though he's given up some hits too, and given up some base runners.
3 left on base on this inning. Yeah, that's tough for Cuba. This was definitely the opportunity for them to go. Ursula, but before it's only 7 innings, so you gotta make those opportunities count.
As you can see, a lot of empty seats today. It's a Monday. It's not uncommon to have some empty seats in the stadium on a Monday during baseball week. Everyone's still recovering from a weekend full of drinking and fun.
Absolutely, and it's still in the group stage, in the early stages of the tournament as well. So it's not yet close to the final anyway. In any way, so of course Monday night, a lot of people tend to. But during the game, during the week, I already heard a lot of people entering again. So Wednesday, Thursday, people want to join again. So definitely a chance.
If you're close by-ish, car, get on the train.
Oh, definitely.
Or walk to the stadium if you live close by. And come watch some baseball with us here. Morales. Fouls it away to the right side. 0-1. 1-1, excuse me. That's inside at 88.
Yeah, it's always interesting to see after such a busy at bat for Cuba, where they had so many opportunities, and that they have to switch now again. Like, switch the flick, switch the button right away to get back into, to forget about that last inning, last at bat, and just get back onto it and make sure that USA doesn't get those opportunities anymore. Got to keep it close now, because if you get runs against right now, yeah, it can be decisive.
Oh. There's a regular fan here. That's a strikeout, by the way. I'm really confused by the new DJ. He starts some random stuff in at random times. That really threw me off. We had a last second switch in the DJ booth, apparently, because I just looked over the mixing panel, and that's a new face. So we're just getting into the swing of things still.
Absolutely. I mean, it's a long week for everyone. That means that you can't do every game yourself.
No.
Just one guy. You need to switch it up a little bit to get a little bit of rest here and there.
As Hurley skies it into center field, that's got to be an easy play. Lionel Moa makes the catch, and that ends the at-bat for Hurley. And that brings up Trey Morgan with the fluorescent white hair. And there he goes again with his little walk up the first base line, as he does every single time he comes to bat. Sometimes he goes a little further. This time it was only a few steps, but he always walks up the first base line a little bit, we've noticed. We're going to keep pointing it out until everyone agrees with me.
Exactly. That's where it's going. And no, you don't, says Jose Rodriguez for ball one.
87 miles an hour on that pitch right there.
He has a very good arm.
I'm still waiting for the first 95 or 96 reading on the tournament. As Morgan flies out to left field. Easy catch for Dennis Laza, which retires the side, ends the inning, and we're headed to the top of the fifth.
Another 1-2-3 inning for Cuba. It's the second of them in.
Is they're not like super outgoing. This Japanese team certainly is. They were dancing on the field yesterday. We saw Chujimoto win over the crowd with some sprints.
Absolutely.
By the backstop.
Even made it to player of the game because of it.
Because of it, yeah. Even he didn't swing a bat.
Nope.
He didn't play in the entire game. It was named player of the game.
Player
anyway.
of the game, absolutely. Because it's also an audience award, you know.
Exactly,
like,
yeah.
It's what you want.
His teammates hate his guts now because they all wanted to win player of the game, and he did nothing. He just ran 2 sprints and won player of the game.
No, to be honest, actually, when we presented him the player of the game, well, we have a new pitcher. We'll give you all the information about that in a second. Even though he got player of the game, even though he didn't play, that's a sign of good spirit within the team as well. They were all happy for him, and even after we announced that he would be the player of the game, he did another couple of sprints behind the home plate, and that's what the audience wants to see as well. It's a tournament, and it's for the audience.
Absolutely. Teddy McGraw is the new pitcher today. Teddy McGraw, that sounds like a country music star. Like Tim McGraw, Teddy McGraw.
Gavin McGraw?
Gavin DeGraw.
Oh, that's DeGraw.
But Teddy McGraw pitches his college ball at Wake Forest. He's one of 2 Wake Forest players on this Team USA, so they're looking good. Another Wake Forest player had a pretty good weekend in Major League Baseball. Gavin Sheets, outfielder for the Chicago White Sox. Hit a couple of home runs. I believe he is also a Wake Forest alum. Don't fact check me on that, but that's somewhere in the back of my head. McGraw was 5-2 with a 4.08 ERA this year. 15 appearances, 12 starts, as Sanchez grounds one to Morales at third, and he is retired at first as Morgan puts him away. 15 appearances, 12 starts, so 3 relief appearances, 70.2 innings, 67 strikeouts, 38 walks for Teddy McGraw. Opponents only hit 200 against him, 203. That'll play. As I'm fact-checking myself, Gavin Sheets, indeed a Wake Forest alum. As Moa fouls it back into the backstop for strike 2.
As I was fact-checking myself as well, my scorecard, the score sheet, he needs 7 strikeouts for Tanner Hall, which is fantastic, in 4 innings.
As Moa grounds out to short, that's Jacob Gonzalez handling that easily, throwing out Moa at first base. Very quick start to the inning for Teddy McGraw here, inducing some contact. Getting a fantastic fact from sent over from Cameron to my left. Teddy's dad's name, Teddy McGraw's dad's name, is indeed Tim McGraw, but it's not the Tim McGraw. that is,
what's in a name? What's in a name?
Yeah, I love that. That's spectacular. Can't make it up. As Osvaldo Abreu steps in against McGraw and hits a slider to short. Jacob Gonzalez again with a quick peg, and not a very good throw, but a fantastic scoop by Trey Morgan. That is a very nicely played play right there by Morgan, who hops over the line in celebration and gets a little thank you from a couple of his teammates. Nice job. Job well done.
And also the second.
'74 is walking around there as well. You have a Cuba roster here.
Carlos Santana.
Oh yeah, he pitched yesterday, so that might not be. But the lefty is actually warming up now. I see a lefty pitcher throwing some warm-up pitches.
Were you able to spot a...
I'm trying. He needs to turn around to me, but it's definitely not Carlos Santana because he just walked away. In the meantime, Maui Ahuna, the big Ahuna, that's way too easy. That's not a good nickname. We're talking about nicknames earlier today with Sean in a different broadcast, which You didn't hear because you were being the PA announcer here at the stadium.
Exactly,
so there's no way you can listen to us talk and
No,
announce players coming to bat. But yeah, no, we were talking about baseball nicknames, stuff like the Big Hurt. You know, it's a great nickname. So
Okay.
I think the Big Who knows. I'm sure someone else has already come up with that from the moment he was born. I was going to watch rewatch the Italy-USA game last night when I came home, the rebroadcast on our YouTube page if you miss, as Ahuna walks 4 straight pitches. If you're interested in rewatching the games, you can on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/HonkballWeek.
No way. Oh, surprising.
And all the games are archived there, and you can just sit back, relax, and watch another one. So the problem is it was blocked.
Oh, it was?
Yeah, it was, at least in the Netherlands. It was a copyright claim by Whole Lotta Rosie by AC/DC.
Oh, really? Ah, okay, got it. Yep.
But as we're looking now, because I'm looking at the screen, and Jeroen, our director, worked on it. Yep, it's back up. Jeroen I texted Jeroen late last night, hoping that he would read it when he would wake up, saying, hey, if you can look at this, because I really want the USA-Italy game back up, because that was a fun game, and it was also a very good broadcast for us to watch. As there's a debate going on at home plate. I'm not exactly sure why. We're talking about where Bradfield needs to stand. So Jeroen said, I'll take a look into it. And he said it's just one song that made it blocked in the Netherlands. And I'm assuming since AC/DC is not a Dutch band, it's blocked everywhere. So he...
Speaking of Australia.
Yeah. He did a couple of clicky things. And a few hours later now, game's back up.
Yeah, the copyright infringement in YouTube, they have a very smart logo with them. They can recognize almost any song in the background. Even if it's very, very soft in the background, they can still hear it, more or less.
And when we talk over it, it's not so
out.
bad, because Whole Lotta Rosie was played during the air guitar segment yesterday, the air guitar championships.
Yep, which I rocked, by the way.
I'm sure you did. Me and Sean, however, stopped talking for a little bit during that segment because it was very loud, and there's no way that we were able to get our point across in that noise. And that gave YouTube ample opportunity to filter it out and block our video. But it's... Oh!
Well, people are actually leaning over the fences over here in order to get that foul ball. I mean, that's one of the nice things that you get into the stadium. Always an opportunity to catch a foul ball.
This guy failed.
He did, miserably, actually. Yep.
He's still smiling.
Oh, yeah. Maybe there will be another chance. If you just stay just enough. There just might be. Looking at a 1-2 pitch.
Bradfield skies it right above Ayala at shortstop. Makes the catch for the first out in the inning. So yeah, if you want to rewatch any game, go to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/HonkballWeek. And there you go.
It's the first time that Enrique Bradfield did not get on base. And that's pretty good for the Cuban defense. That's good news, because in the first 2 times that he did get on base, he got to third base in his first attempt, and he scored a run in his second attempt. So, good news to get him off the bases. Still Maui Ahuna on first base as the runner. Now batting,
that's drilled.
Dylan Cruz, and he's got it on his bat, but
it just dies, man.
Yep.
As they almost double off Ahuna, who's smiling, diving back into first. He took a little bit too much of a leeway.
And he too saw it coming off the bat just really nicely. Probably thought it would drop, but
I don't know about these baseballs, to be honest. I've watched every single game this tournament for obvious reasons. This one looked and sounded like a bomb in the mid, like at least like down like into far left field, and it was not even medium depth.
No, true. It was an easy catch in the end. Dennis Laza did not even have to run that much.
It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate.
Yeah, it could also maybe be the wind, because there is a breeze, like I said before, like blowing into the stadium.
As Jacob Gonzalez digs in, looks at ball 1 in the dirt. Nice block there by Cuban catcher Ivan Prieto. who I think has played a very good tournament, especially defensively. Prieto looked really good behind the plate.
Blocking a lot of
Yep.
pretty hard balls.
Especially with his pitching staff that is sometimes all over the place. As Gonzalez drills this one, but again, that's not even going to reach the warning track.
Nope.
And you can see the flags in right field. It's not blowing in that hard.
No, true. I get what you mean. This one was, you feel like he couldn't have hit it much better than this, but it didn't reach that far. I gotta agree. Maybe that's something that you can ask one of the players or the
I will actually, yeah. 87 mile an hour fastball. Perhaps if it was a 95 or 96 mile an hour fastball, it would have flown a little further.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay.
And we have seen 2 home runs this tournament, so it's not like it's a completely dead ball. We saw Roger Bernardino go yard for Team Kingdom, and we've seen Yohandi Morales put one over the wall in right field for Team USA. So that's interesting to keep in the back of our heads as we see another Team Kingdom jersey, a brand new one walk by. I love those jerseys. I might buy one myself.
Okay. Treat yourself, man. Absolutely.
Treat yourself. They have some nice sweaters, too. I don't know if you've seen those. Black sweaters with the Kingdom red, white, and blue logo on the front.
I actually have not seen them yet.
Yeah. Sepp was walking out with one the other day.
That sounds
very
cool.
nice, yeah. Jersey number on your sleeve.
Oh, that's awesome.
Actually, not jersey. It's 22 for 2022, but it looks like a jersey.
Oh,
there we go. That's the new jersey on our screen right now.
Oh, that looks pretty awesome.
I guess based on the size, I think our producer bought it for himself. a little early birthday present for Jeroen. It might just be. Yeah,
absolutely.
It's a very nice jersey. I gotta say, it's very.
Cool.
I need to do some shopping. I don't really have a lot of time to do some shopping during the day, but definitely want to do some shopping.
Meanwhile, the Cuban fans, the Cube A, are doing fantastic and keeping the spirit alive, running on the nose. And
we'll have that on your screen in just a second. I see Jeroen grab his camera again. So we might have these Cubans on the screen in a second. There we go.
Hey, look at him running. Yes. Some photographers have noticed it as well.
That's Justin, actually. If Jeroen can go down into the left just a little bit with the camera. I don't know if he can hear me, but then we can show Justin, our cameraman. Right there, that's Justin.
Nice. Well spotted.
I was raving about Justin earlier today. He's the guy who makes all those videos that you guys see in between innings here.
Oh, nice. That's awesome. Well done, Justin. Shout out to you.
Yeah, he's very good at what he does. Very happy he's on our team. That is a strike called to the dismay of Ayala.
Alexander Ayala flied out in his first at-bat. Actually, he had a base hit on the second attempt in the second at-bat. Now fouls it back to the right side. That's strike 2 for him. There you hear the clapping of the audience of someone who got the ball. And he's very happy with it. Earlier today I saw someone grabbing the ball with his cap actually. And as a good ritual, he did not hesitate to put the cap back on his head with the ball still in it. I love things like that. It makes baseball great. Those small things we talked about. After that I said I also love it when you catch it with your beer. First drink your beer and then you're allowed to grab the ball out of your cup. I love it. And that's one of the things that makes baseball so great. Not just those 2 specific things, but all the rituals around it, all the little things that make it so nice to go to a ballpark. It's not for nothing that they call the ballpark and not a stadium. We see
I don't agree with that call. I do not agree with that call. But it is what it is. No video replay, guys. We're moving on. I do not think Edwin Luisa had that one correct. What is this guy doing? Throwing water bottles at the Cuban team?
I guess so. Making it rain. So there was an interesting play by the third baseman. He tried to grab it, and then he lost it. Grabbed it again, actually, more or less by coincidence. Saw that he had it in his glove and made the throw at first base. That's why he was a little bit later. I couldn't necessarily see if he was safe or not, but you have a good eye, so I completely trust you. But I also got to say, Edwin Luisa is a very well-respected umpire in the Dutch highest division. Well, we see a nice base hit by the DH, Frederick Cepeda. Sending Ayala to second base now, and okay, maybe Cuba has got something going again. Another rally.
I might have to. I was just sent an Instagram reel video from Team NL made by Louis Senior, probably while he was sitting over there. Apparently, they put my home run call for Roger Bernardino's home run in it, so I'm gonna have to check that out.
Oh, nice, nice. Yeah, follow us on the socials, ladies and gentlemen.
Not just us. Also follow, if you're interested at all in amazing baseball content, follow at Honkball Softball as well. Honkball Softball on Instagram. That's the content on there is legendary when it comes to baseball stuff. The Dutch Federation has really done a fantastic job the last couple of years, making things more interactive, using social media, using video, photo, photography stuff. It's tremendous. Honkball Softball on Instagram if you're interested at all in that.
Absolutely, and not just for the national team, but also for international trips, from anywhere. You can follow them around everywhere, and I love the fact that they have put so much time and effort in that as well, to be able to follow your because you're not able to go to every trip.
True, yeah, it's true. I gotta say though, Jason, I feel so happy right now. I'm at a baseball stadium. I'm calling a baseball game with you, which we have done plenty of times before. It's always a great time.
I love it.
There's Cubans dancing and singing. There's a great baseball game going on. I got people sending me crazy cool facts. What more do you want?
I love your enthusiasm, and I love it.
I'm so happy right now. It's just unreal.
Love your excitement. I completely agree with you. Absolutely. It's fantastic. This is what you do it for. This is what you want.
This is what we want. This is it. Seeing so many familiar faces always makes me feel happy too. There's a lot of the same crowd always coming to watch the game. It's a very laid-back evening too. I see a lot of the light blue jackets that we are wearing during the tournament right now getting a moment to catch their breath and
actually
just
being able
watch
to
the
enjoy
game.
the
Yeah,
game
exactly.
as well.
Our tournament director Leon is right over there to our left in a VIP box. He knows the good seats. And we have Jaap, our PR guy, to the far right, chilling and watching the game.
Yep.
We got some bad boys and girls, some field managers down by the field, just chilling. Love it. The only ones working hard are you, me, and Jeroen.
Exactly. Well, as we say here, you have working horses and beauty horses.
Yeah, exactly. We are definitely
the working horses.
The beauty
tonight.
horses. It might be good to check in on this game. It's still 2-0 USA.
Absolutely. I mean, it's still close. We're in inning number 6.
It's still a good game.
And there's runners on first and second base with a 2-2 count. No outs just yet. Aviles is batting for Cuba. Teddy McGraw.
It's a good pitch. 94. I was complaining earlier I hadn't seen a whole lot of 95 and up. This is pushing it. 94 miles an hour by Teddy McGraw there.
Strikeout. What a nice one.
He pulls a piece of paper out of his back pocket to go over some signs or agreements, I guess. I guess these guys don't play together on a daily basis, so it makes sense you have to have a sheet in his back pocket. I'm sure I'll receive an email from Cam shortly to tell me what's on the sheet. Or maybe not. Maybe it's top secret. You never know.
I mean, for all we know, it's a nice joke that they read onto it, just to enlighten them a little bit. So, well, I had some coaches every now and then. I said, "What?
We got another balk.
Balk, yep.
That's the 6th balk called this tournament."
Crowd's looking at you. He's like,
Mike
did
Bianco,
I do?
Yeah, Mike Bianco wants to talk to Nick Elsof and get an explanation on that.
Yeah, McGraw is listening in on that as well because he is completely unaware of what's going on right there.
Bianco, this is interesting. He's doing some explaining on how McGraw does this move. I don't know why Marek Vikar is trying to get Teddy McGraw away from there, because I'm sure McGraw is interested to hear what he did wrong so he can not do it again. So Bianco is telling him now, this is what you did. I guess.
Well, he's accepting it as he should, and if we move on with the game.
If we're lucky, we'll get an explanation on the exact balk like we did yesterday. I was telling Sean about that in the broadcast earlier. We had a balk yesterday that neither Sean nor I saw, like what the problem was. And then I ran into the umpires later that night, and they were able to show me on their phone a close-up video of what the exact balk was, and immediately I understood what the problem was.
Fair enough. Wonder if it had maybe to do something with that note that he put in his back pocket. I have no idea. I didn't see it, but that doesn't mean that it didn't happen, of course. Sometimes it's in the small details, but it gives for a very interesting situation because we have two runners in scoring position right now, and a big swing from Dennis Laza, who can hit the ball pretty well, as we saw earlier during this week, and even during this game he got on base in both of his at-bats. First one was base on balls, and the second one was a base hit. So he's looking for another base hit for maybe tie it up in this game. Oh, big swing again. He's going for contact, but still big swing with a lot of power. And pressure is on now for Teddy McGraw. Seems like a cool dude. He seems like he can handle it. Can he though? Can his pitcher show off for it? Oh, yes, it can. That's a strike. A nice one. Big swing for Dennis Laza. That's the second strikeout for Teddy McGraw. Second in a row as well. It's warming up. Even after that balk call. That maybe got him a little bit off guard, and then to get back into it, get your head back into the game with runners on second and third. Whew. That's not easy. Next at bat, the one who's got to do it right now with 2 outs is Carlos Benitez.
Oh, he doesn't waste any time. 96, here we go.
Okay.
I'm ready to go. Let's go. Here's the heat we've been waiting for. Teddy McGraw is like, you want to see 95? I'll give you 96.
Thank you, Teddy.
Love
Appreciate it. Pressure is still on, though. And there's the contact, but he fouls it back. Benitez not being able to get it into play just yet. Doesn't mean that it's not going to happen, of course. Nice, Jules. It's 0-2. 2 outs.
'96. I like it. I love it. That's a really good pitch. I'm not gonna say
yeah, the audience. Ooh, it's shaved maybe the outside of the better of the plate, but I'm not sure about that. Looked kind of wide to me, but it's always the umpire, the home plate umpire, that has the best view on it.
Thank you, Cameron. The sheet he has in his back pocket is a list of signs. Usually they'll change to a different set of signs or different indicator or something when there's a runner on second in case they're trying to steal signs. There you go.
Absolutely.
I had a hunch it was something like that.
Exactly. Yeah, you got to switch it up sometimes, especially with runners on the bases who can actually see the signs from second base. They look over the shoulder of the pitcher. They look down. You see also the catcher. He also has the signs on his wristband.
Yeah. Yep. As McGraw lines up and fires. That is strike 3 at 95-mile-an-hour fastball. That is a spectacular pitching performance by Teddy McGraw, recovering from giving up a couple of base runners and the balk. Let's not forget the balk.
And then 3 strikeouts in a row to end this inning and to get out of the troubles, because he was in trouble after that ball call with runners on second and third, both in scoring position, and then to throw those 3 strikeouts at that point. That's fantastic. That's a great job.
As as Queen is coming through the speakers there, which means that we have to keep talking because they are notoriously trigger happy on YouTube.
The copyright infringements. Well, I'm more than happy to do so. Not gonna lie. We've seen a couple of great games so far already. Double plays. Actually, this afternoon, the game between Curacao and Italy was actually action-packed. Not gonna lie, a lot of scoring and a lot of great defending plays. Dudley Leonor playing fantastic at first base. The funny thing is, the first time I saw him playing was actually during the baseball week, the Honkbal Week, as a first baseman. And after that, I saw him in Hoofddorp, I saw him at Neptunus in Rotterdam, and he moved a little bit around the field. Sometimes played second base, he went to shortstop, but I've never seen him play better than on first base. His reach is tremendous. His reaction time is fantastic. And his arm is just amazing. He can do everything for a first baseman. He's fantastic. And a great guy as well.
I agree. Really funny.
Funny, always nice, always.
I have some funny Dudley Leonor stories I cannot tell on the air too. So sorry, people at home.
Hey, sometimes you gotta keep the stories to yourself. Absolutely, yep.
I did get a kick out of Mike Piazza. I was interviewing him earlier today, and he says. So I asked him that. I basically said, like, well, Italy wins their first game in the tournament, like hours after you arrived in the country. Like maybe they just needed to see you. And he's like, well, I did yell at them a little bit this morning. Threw in some profanity.
Oh, but you know enough.
Yeah, you know enough. If Piazza threw in some profanities, it must have been a good one. Are you familiar with the Leah rant?
Leah rant? No.
Leah. This was an old manager from the Chicago Cubs. This is decades ago. As
I think I
strike or throws a ball.
I think now that you start about it, I know exactly what you're talking about, actually. Yep.
Yeah. The rant was recorded by a famous Chicago radio personality who recently passed away.
A little dove delay, by the way.
Yep.
Meanwhile.
Les Grobner was the one. Les Grauber, I should say. Not Grobner, Grauber was the one who recorded it. Passed away a few months ago. And yeah, the Leah rant is still up there with the all-time legendary profanity-laced manager rants. So I'm kind of curious to see if anyone recorded Piazza's welcome speech to his team. He called it a motivational speech with some profanity. So
okay, well that can only be good.
Yeah, I would pay handsome money to get a recording of that. As Langford skies one in the right field, that's going to go foul and out of play, out of the standing over the bullpen in right field. It was good talking to Piazza, not gonna lie. It was kind of like a surreal moment.
Yeah, a little bit of a fan.
Well, I mean,
I assume. And why not, of course.
Yeah, watching it when you grow up, watching players like that.
Absolutely.
I had the same thing when I went to London for the MLB London series. I was credentialed there to be media.
I actually saw those pictures of you being on the pitch.
Justin, our cameraman here at Honkbal Week, as there's a strikeout by Rodriguez of Langford, strikeout looking. Yeah, we had on-field press credentials, so we spent 3 days in London in between all the superstars for the Red Sox and Yankees that were on that team. So. And let's not forget all the other celebrities that are walking around there, not even playing, even on top of all the baseball players, seeing Tony La Russa, who at that point I still liked.
That changed?
Yeah. Taking a selfie with Alex Rodriguez in the back. That was also a good one.
Mm-hmm.
As Tio
saw that one.
Pops it way high. That's Prieto going to the fence, and he will not get it. It's popping into the crowd. Oh, nice job, lady.
You're out.
That's an excellent catch by that lady to our left. Outstanding job. Got to talk to Buster Olney from ESPN, who I've grown up reading and watching. Very nice guy, by the way. Buster Olney, tremendously nice guy. Snuck underneath a barrier where I wasn't even allowed to go to say hi to Ken Rosenthal as Kyle Teel smacks it into right, but that is it on a line and right at the right fielder.
Ken Rosenthal, speaking of legends.
Wow, yeah. Not a very tall man, but a very, very nice guy as well. So yeah, that was great.
I
Got to talk to Reggie Jackson.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yep, good times. Piazza is right up there, I gotta say, to be honest. Piazza is right up there. My Twitter header is still my picture with Reggie Jackson.
Oh, really? Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. I actually, yeah.
Nick Swisher, I spoke with him. Never liked him as much as a player, but as a person, he's hysterical. So funny. Javi Vasquez, another former player I got to talk with for a little bit. Some famous GMs, Dave Dombrowski, Brian Cashman of the Yankees.
Oh, wow. Wow. Okay. Now you're just showing off. Now you're just showing off.
I'm telling you, like those are.
That's impressive. I agree. I absolutely agree.
It's stuff
for any baseball fan.
It's stuff that you don't ever think you will get to do.
Of course, no, absolutely. And that event, the Major League in London, was a fantastic event.
It was a great event. Yeah, I'm looking forward to next year's. I'll apply for credentials again and see if we can make some more awesome content.
Are they going back to London again?
Looks like it, yeah. Cubs and Cardinals, I think. Do hope the Cubs will have added some good players by then.
That's a sombrero for Yohandy Morales.
Wow.
3 strikeouts.
I must have missed that. He's going for the golden one, or will we not get there? We're going to the bottom of the 6th, so we might not get there. If the score stays like this, we will probably not get there. The fun thing about being part of the media at this tournament is how approachable all the teams are. It's really like everyone wants to help you create some cool content, as we're looking at some great double plays from earlier in the tournament here. Team Japan turning a couple of double plays that were impressive against Team USA the other day. There's a nice play by the pitcher. So yeah, it's been really fun to work with these teams. Like all the press people we talk to are super approachable. Players are more than willing to give you a couple of minutes of their time to shoot a video. Managers as well. Mike Bianco was fantastically nice yesterday as well, as was Piazza today. Avery Jonathan, the national coach for the Netherlands, also a tremendous interview. Always a well thought out answers.
Oh yeah, leave that to Avery Jonathan.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
But always so knowledgeable about baseball and everything around it.
Yeah, it was really
great manager for Team Kingdom of the Netherlands.
I agree. He's definitely, it's a guy I grew up watching play here at Handball Week, and now he's the manager.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's been a fantastic first 4 days of the tournament when you're media here.
And also, and that's one of the things that I love as a stadium announcer, for example, as well, is the interaction with the audience as well.
Right.
We talked about the Japanese being fantastic with that as well. But you even see it from the other teams as well. You know, Curaçao also loves to interact with the audience, and it just gives for such a nice like combination between sports on a high level, but also entertainment on a high level. And that's exactly what you want as a tournament, as the Handball Week is right now.
Exactly right.
And it can only go better. It can only grow, and as we get to the final stages of this tournament and work on to Friday, it can almost only get better.
Exactly right. We're going to the potentially final inning. If Cuba does not score here, this ball game will be over, and the United States will have yet another victory in the books. That will be after a opening day loss to Japan. They have not lost since. Ivan Prieto will be in charge of starting a rally as he's getting some time from the home plate umpire after fouling that ball off his foot. Relentless, these Cubans. They have not stopped banging drums for 7 innings. It's incredible.
Absolutely. No, that's fantastic. And they kind of have to keep that spirit up. It's what I've never been to Cuba myself, not going to lie.
I have not.
Love to go there.
Yeah.
But what you hear, the stories that you hear, is that they all play music on the streets as well. They're dancing. It's in their blood. It's in their veins. It's in their DNA. And that's exactly what they are showing here right now in the stadium as well in Haarlem. And they kind of have to as well, because Cuba, even though they had chances, even this game, and especially yesterday against Japan, for example, they have not been able to finish it. They've lost everything so far.
Yep.
I mean, they're not in a very good shape either right now, even though they had chances to turn it around.
They have more hits than the U.S. The U.S. only have 2 hits.
Exactly.
Cuba has 4.
Exactly. But they just lack that final straw, that final hit, that final contact.
Yep.
To wheel the players in, and they've had the opportunities. They've had the bases loaded with 1 out. They had runners on second and third with 1 out, and they just didn't manage to. Also because of great pitching from the of the U.S. Not gonna lie, this man right here, Teddy McGraw, you saw it in the last inning with those 3 fantastic strikeouts.
Pumping 95 again. The last pitch was 95 mile an hour. That was a slider down the middle, but Prieto just did not at all see it as Teal is chasing it, holding his mask. I would have chucked that away, but why not? Why not just hold it in your hands? He must really like it. He doesn't want it to break or something when he drops it.
It's his 4th of July mask, of course.
There we go.
Don't want any scratch on that. No, thank you.
Ariel Pastano is coming to bat, and that is not his dad, who was also named Ariel Pastano and was a catcher for Team Cuba at multiple honkball weeks here in the Netherlands. This is Ariel Pastano Jr. I think it's Ariel Pastano Rosado officially. Is it on the roster like that? Yeah, Pastano Rosado right there.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
And his dad, I think, was Pastano Sanchez, if I'm not 100%. I could be completely off on that. I know for a fact that this guy is named Ariel Pastano Rosado. It is Ariel Pastano Sr.'s son. Also a catcher, as his dad was. Dad, a legendary Cuban baseball player. I think he spent 20 years on the Cuban national team. Wow. Definitely a guy I would have imagined would have liked to try an attempt to make it to the United States, but he never did. Yeah, he liked it. He liked it playing for Cuba, and that's fine too.
Yeah, and of course, I mean, times have changed as well, and that's only quite recently that those times have changed. I mean, especially in the earlier days, and I'm talking about a couple of decades ago, and that's quite recently, of course.
Yep.
Cubans weren't even able to leave, the country for that matter.
Correct.
And what you saw sometimes, that during international tournaments, you have stories that the Cuban guys in a team during any international tournament, all of a sudden, there were a couple of Cubans who were missing because it was their opportunity, their only and their first opportunity to actually get out of the country and to
Go
find,
pro.
yeah, exactly, and to find their luck somewhere else. And yeah, this was their exit. It's harsh enough if you think of it, and it is, of course. And luckily, times have changed, and Cubans are able to go anywhere. And big history between the U.S. and Cuba, not only on baseball, but also like in world history, of course. Very interesting to read into that. I highly recommend it if you are a history lover like I am. So strikeout, Ariel Pastano didn't really bring what the coach hoped he would bring.
I missed Anthony Pang again. I hadn't looked at Facebook for a while. Our friend Anthony Pang, as this ball game will be over, as Trey Morgan steps on the bag. Anthony Pang mentions that Guthrie, who threw out our first pitch, played for the Melbourne Aces first season. I feel so bad, Anthony, that I missed your comment. I love talking baseball with you. This baseball game is over. The United States beat Cuba 2-0.
And of course, they definitely had a hard time. The United States, they make it look easy. They make it look easy, and of course, there's quality, and of course, there's this baseball instinct that they grow up with, and that they learn on their colleges. But you also see the Cubans. They have a natural feeling for the game. They have a natural feeling for hitting. They just weren't able to convert it into runs this time. And that's a shame because they definitely had the opportunities. They just went, in my opinion, a little bit too many times for the big swings instead of going for contact. And that's what broke them up. It's a shame to see that because this is their third loss in 3 games. And it's going to be very tough for Cuba to get back in this tournament. There's always backdoors, and you'll never know what the rest of the week will bring. We're definitely not done yet. It's only Monday, and we're going until Friday night. So it's definitely far from over. 3 games every day upcoming. So a lot of baseball enjoyment for you all to give, to receive, and absolutely to enjoy with us.
Absolutely,
as we do.
Jason. Absolutely. Thank you so much for joining me in the booth today, Jason. I really enjoyed myself.
Was a pleasure. It was a pleasure.
I'm sure we'll get you in the booth a couple more times this week.
Please do. Absolutely.
It's going to be great. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching our broadcast of Cuba USA. We'd love to see you again tomorrow. Keep an eye on our social media profiles, and we hope to see you soon. Bye-bye.
Absolutely. See you later. See you later. Bye.
Picture Tanner Hall. Hij gooide 4 volledige innings, 7 maal 3 slag. Waaronder een paar moeilijke situaties met de 300 bezet.